So hi guys, we are still at Honda on the showroom. For this segment, I would like to talk about buying cars in Thailand and of course the car prices in Thailand. Um, so basically in Thailand, car prices you may find they are a mixed bag. Some are pretty expensive, some are pretty cheap. It really depends. What I mean is that it really depends whether the car is manufactured, assembled in Thailand locally. When it's done locally, then it's cheap because you know they all these big brands like Honda, Toyota, Mitsubishi, Mercedes, they have some form of a manufacturing plant in Thailand, or you know, some kind of assembly plant. Then they get tax rebates and of course government incentives given. Prices are much cheaper, so it becomes more competitive. But if cars are imported, like those continental European models, luxury models, then that's where it gets heavily taxed because they are imported, and of course luxury taxes added onto it. So prices, yeah, it's not exactly cheap. Like for example, this Accord hybrid, it's about 1.799 million Thai baht. Civic ranges from around 900-ish to about 1 million-ish plus. So you get an idea. Oh, this is a basic model, so very basic non-turbo model, 800 over 1000. So this one is like basically the basic features you get, none of the fancy stuff. The Civic hatchback there is about 1.2, and City hybrid, that one's 800-ish. The basic models for the Civic, the City, that would be maybe 600-ish to 800, depending on the model specs that you choose. So basically, let me talk about how foreigners can buy cars here. Well, unless the foreigner is an expat who's got a work permit, pay slip, history, maybe 6 months to a year, it will be better. Then you might be able to get a car financing loan, but you may need a Thai guarantor. But you know, if you're a foreigner, it's best you can just buy it cash outright. Saves you the trouble and the hoops about getting finance, because that one there's a lot of requirements that you may need to get through, and of course seek approval from the Thai banks. Interest rate, kind of financing stuff I see here is about 2.99% I've seen, 2.5, 2.99 up to, you know, 3, 4, 5%. So it may end up, you know, getting quite expensive. So best is, you know, get what you can afford, what you like. You know, you make your own call. For foreigner, basically foreigners, you know, when you come and get a car, you talk to the salesperson, tell them, you know, it's just a full straight up non-financing loan. They may give you a better price, greater discount, and also negotiate all the freebies that you get thrown in. Very basic stuff you get can be like window tinting, free, first year full cover insurance, first party insurance free, and then other extras depending on the model and, you know, how new or hot the model is. You may get free stuff like, you know, aesthetic add-ons, trimmings, accessories, rubber mats, and blah blah blah. You know, you might get that thrown in. And of course, all these are all the official Honda modulo or whatever add-ons that they carry. And oh yeah, for Honda, the warranty comes 3 years. You get 3 years warranty, 100,000 kilometers warranty coverage, whichever comes first. But it really depends if you know what you have modified, or you know, you keep the condition. Depends on the showroom that you get from, whether they are pretty sticky or not on such matters. And for Honda, the servicing schedule, you have to follow the trip computer. So basically they detect your driving conditions, especially in Thailand. If you're in the city a lot, stop and go traffic, then your mileage to service is going to be pretty short. So for me, my Civic 1.5cc turbo, I work and live in the city, pretty bad traffic. Each oil change mileage I get is about 6,000 kilometers. That's when I need to get a fresh oil change. But you know, oil change in Thailand not expensive. I mean, my previous cars as well, I always change the oil at about 6,000 to 8,000, because that's because my driving habits and the places I go to. I'm pretty stretch the legs of my cars pretty well. And on top of the mileage computer of servicing that you have to follow, you have to do a 6 months periodic checkup. Just drop the car in, check of everything. Yeah, you know, you might not even end up servicing anything. Just check all the levels, any leaks or whatever. That is a requirement to maintain your warranty. So it's not expensive. 6 months checkup. Usually the first 2 times are free when you just buy the car. But this one, if it's already like a 3rd, 4th, 5th time, the price is about 600-ish, but not too expensive. Okay. For a normal service, like engine oil, Honda engine oil 0W20 weight, which is the recommended engine oil viscosity here for the newer Honda engines. Yeah. And engine oil filter, washer, plug. It's about 1,400, 1,500 baht, with labor included, I believe. So not expensive. It's a pretty good experience coming to the Honda showroom as always. Get to sit around, play with the new models, and get some good refreshments and food. So oh yeah, so for car registration for foreigners, so basically you need a certificate of residence. That is from either your embassy or your immigration department. So that's what I did. I got a certificate of residence from immigration department. That one, they follow your rental agreement or your ownership house registration booklet. After you do your 90 days reporting, then you have proof of your address. I'm not too sure about tourists, tourist visa, whether you can get a car or not. Some people say they can. I'm not sure, can't speak for that. I'm working here on a legit work permit and visa. And for those with fancy number plates, those you see the colorful number plates with some fancy numbers, that one usually people just get it from those kind of specialized dealers that trade in these fancy numbers. That can be quite expensive depending on the combination and the numbers that you see. Can range from like 40,000-50,000 baht to about 2 million baht. Like this. It's like a sign of showing how fancy you can be, huh? And that one, of course, you need to pay a premium for that, and that involves after you do the handover with the plate dealer. Those are usually third-party ones, not from Honda. Probably you need to find them from Facebook or some social media. That's where they usually advertise. That one, after you trade in that, you need to get you need to go to the DLT, Department of Land Transport, and then I think it's somewhere at in Bangkok, Lat Phrao area, Vipawadi Road. So that one, it's a different experience, different journey. You probably can skip that if you are not into like lucky numbers and fancy colors. Car coming back from test drive, huh? City hybrid. Oh yeah, on another note, car showrooms here, they open 7 days, yeah, Monday to Sunday. Public holidays, of course, they are closed, but for the service bay, the servicing and all that, servicing Monday to Saturday, that's all. Sunday they're shut. But you know what, it's always good to make an appointment. They're pretty efficient when it comes to doing service and repairs if it's the very routine kind. As I was saying in my previous video, in Thailand, there's not a shortage of labor, and of course professionals as well, sales and mechanics and all that, engineers. So don't have to worry too much about it. But of course, sometimes we have to be very specific when we come to service our cars, because yes, they may have the skills, but sometimes they don't have the initiative, or they're not very proactive with what they need to check or what they need to do. So it helps if you are more mechanical minded, or you have experience with cars like that, of the same brand or the same kind of car, or sports car, whatever, that it's like common wear and tear and what needs to be looked out for, paying attention to. Well, this is where sometimes it doesn't hurt to really pinpoint it down to them what needs to be done, of course in a respectful manner. Communication sometimes may be a problem because our languages, the difference, but we have to for ease of mind. So most of the time I'll just tell them exactly what I want to be done. Like for me, I'm pretty anal with things like not having them wash the car after the service. I get mine professionally detailed. Things like where it needs to be paid attention to, what parts need to be swapped up, what needs to be tightened, and blah blah blah. Yeah, I always do that. I mean, it might be already been a checklist, but I'll just do it for the ease of mind. So yeah, anyway, this is my take on car, my car buying experience here in Thailand, and of course maintaining my car, and so far pretty good. My car is now 20,000 kilometers, 1.5 years, running well. Pretty happy with the service and you know, everything here. Yeah, so in another video I'll talk about driving in Thailand. Yeah, once you get a car out of the showroom, the next thing you have to conquer, driving in Thailand. The traffic conditions, the behavior, you know, how you need to adapt to you know, here, and then make it an enjoyable experiencing commuting around. Yes, it might not be the best traffic condition in the world, but you know, we live with it. We are here. Thailand is a pretty big country, pretty nice place for road trips and all that. So, and then pretty carefree when it comes to doing your modifications, you know, your whatever your, you know, excites you, modifications, racing scene, drag scene, car show scene. A lot of enthusiasts out there. So yeah, we'll talk about it in another video. Thank you.